Hey girls, I thought I'd make a video on how to do the ANOVA analysis for our forensic and environmental analysis assignment. I'm not sure if I'll be able to run through it with you before Friday, so that's why I'm making this video. I'll most likely be able to do it with Anna, but not you, Sharon. Okay, so what you've got to do up till here, so just before the ANOVA you should have calculated the concentration of d-norethylnodrel and the standard deviations for each data set. So before we start the ANOVA analysis, I think it's important that we get the right units in. So in question 9 it says remember to report the value in micrograms per litre instead of milligrams per litre. So Jess and Greg actually made a mistake by submitting theirs in milligrams per litre. Okay, so in order to do that, this one, we find our concentrations that we've calculated. There should be, so you've got, this is going to take a while. So you've got 3 sites, and there should be 3 subsamples within each site. So that's initially what you're going to have. You're going to have 3 concentrations for each site. And in order to change this to micrograms, if you haven't noticed, up until now we've just been using milligrams. And we made that mistake by using it here as well, but in fact you're meant to convert it to micrograms. So in order to do that, you got to divide your true mass by 20 because we're using 20 litres, so at the moment it's micrograms per litre, which is parts per million. So we're going to change that to micrograms. Alright, what we got to do is times it by 1,000, not divide. Sorry girls. And I find it easy just to select the whole column and press Control D, and that allows it to copy the formula all the way down, respectively to where it's placed. So it'll divide the true masses by 20 and so on and so forth. So that's what you've got to do to change the concentration to micrograms per litre. So just change that to micrograms per litre. You have to do the same for standard deviation, or ANOVA analysis is going to look a little bit weird. So once again, put that in brackets so we know to divide that first, and then times by 1,000. And then drag down, Control D, delete the zeros because they're insufficient. Okay, so once you've done that, it's pretty good. Yeah, so you've done the accurate units up until now. So this is what my ANOVA analysis looks like. I know it looks like a lot to do, but once you got the hang of it, you get supplied all these answers anyway. So I'm going to make a new sheet with new tables just so I can show you. So what we need to do is we need to go to the e-quiz, which is here. I've already got it up, and we go to ANOVA analysis. So what we need to do here is we open Excel, and then we got to copy and paste some of these values in. Okay, so we're going to just take the first 3, so we're doing it by site, so you're going to have 3 subsamples for each site. So we're going to get the first concentration, and we're going to paste it into the mean column. Then we're going to get the standard deviation. Oh, I don't know what's going on. My screen's effed up. Sorry. And then we're going to put it in the standard deviation column. And then we're going to do that for the next 2 as well. Alright, so our number of points is obviously 3, So we do that, and degrees of freedom is 2. And then we go down to calculate. Alright, so what we've got here, you could just directly copy and paste this table. That's what I've done. So you just make a table like this, with your site name, sample number, mean, standard deviation, number of points, and degrees of freedom. So I'm just going to change the font because I'm a bit OCD like that. Alright, so it's better to see now. So you've got your mean, your standard deviation, number of points, degrees of freedom, that's all well and good. And then what you need to do is, you've pre-created this table before you enter all the info. So our S squared between is this number here. So copy and paste that. The degrees of freedom is 2, so you can just write that one in. Our S squared width is this one. Degrees of freedom is 6. Your F stat is this, and your F crit. You'll find the F critical values are actually the same for each table, so that's really good. Okay, so then you get your mean of subsamples. Paste it there. You can separate the mean and the uncertainty, but I think in this case you should keep it together. So the standard deviation and degrees of freedom. So let me just fix that up. Alright, so that's all your information. What you've got to notice here, what I looked into the video with Mark, something I don't think Greg and Jess actually knew either, is that this number here is obviously not similar to these two numbers because it's quite a way away, so it's kind of like an outlier. And you'll notice in this analysis down here it says these subsamples are not from the same sample population. So what that means is we need to take out this top one, and that's what you just got to say is that with these 3 points that it's not going to be an accepted they're not going to be accepted concentrations together, so you got to eliminate the first one in order to have correct values. So we eliminate that one, and then you see down here these subsamples are from the same sample, so that's a lot better. That's why I've made this second table down here, just to show you that. Oops, sorry. So again, just copy and paste. Oop. Yep, here we go. Just copy and paste that, and then we can copy and paste this information again. So degrees of freedom is 1, that one's 4. And you'll notice now that your F stat is a lot lower than the F critical value, and that's what you need. So that's what you're aiming for in this situation. I'll show you what I wrote. Bad grammar. I'll show you what I wrote for that, just to let you know what that analysis is, like what it actually means. Alright, so, okay, I'll go through one more. So you can just copy this again and pop it down here. And this time we'll call it National Park. Yep, National Park. And let's just delete all these values. Alright. Alright, and that's now the second site with the other 3 sub-values. So clear, clear, clear. Yep. This one. this one. I'm doing this as quickly as I can, just so this video doesn't drag out that much. But I'm sure once you see me do the first one, you'll kind of get it. Okay, so as I said, copy paste. Yep. And then you just copy paste all of this in. Okay, so what you'll notice here now is that this F stat is already below the F critical number, so that's fine. You don't need to do a second analysis, and you'll probably find that only one of your sites will need to have a concentration deleted from it. So yeah, you do that for the third one as well. I'm not going to do that. You already know how to do that. Okay. So what I've written down here, I'll just take the second one. I've written down the F stat revealed by the ANOVA analysis of the national park site is lower than the F critical value. Therefore, the concentration of d-norethylnodrel for national park is within the experimental uncertainty and is accepted. These subsamples are from the same sample. So that's basically what the analysis of ANOVA tells us, is that they're now accepted. And if you look at the questions here, it says use ANOVA to check 3 determined concentrations for each site are within experiment uncertainty and correct analysis of ANOVA's results. So the correct analysis will obviously be putting it in your table and all of the values, and then experimental uncertainty is, as I said, making sure that the F stat is below the F critical value. Determine the average concentration for each site and its uncertainty. So that is just given, it's given by the mean of subsamples. So I've just rewritten it down here just to make it quite clear, and I've written in the units as well. So that's pretty much all you have to do, guys. I hope that helped. I really do. If you have any questions, obviously ask me. That's great if you do, and I will help you. Yeah, it's pretty simple when you look at it, but you know, it's very hard to figure out what you need to put in the ANOVA and whether you needed to do it through Excel or through that program. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.